Hey everybody, I figured I would make a video, uh, just maybe, I guess you could call it blogging my feelings. Nothing too crazy, you know what I mean? Nothing concerning or anything like that, so I think I want to make this topic what I'm talking about is how to stop being so damn sensitive. Recently here, I've been struggling with how people react to my family, the dolls, the negativity, or, being really sensitive about it. And I know where it stems from, even though some people may not agree, but I know where it stems from. Growing up, I was kind of put down all my life, whether it be about what I like, which was the dolls, or about anything else, like, oh, Felicity, or she can't do that, she don't know what she's doing, or, just put down. Um, so basically, like, I think I'm just like, I know I have people that subscribe to me that some of you may just mock me. That's why you're on my channel, and then others are supporters. So the ones that do give the advice in the comments that are nice, you know, I'll keep, and then the ones that are just like, well, mean, I'll just delete. But I just don't know if anybody has anything that they've been through, maybe a different situation, like where, um, you know, they're sensitive about, like, how did they stop being so sensitive? A lot of people say that it comes with age, but I'm only 27. 40, 50 years old, it's kind of a little bit of a wait. So, I mean, I'm hoping the older I get, it gets easier. As a lot of people have told me, it gets easier with with age. But I just feel like I have a long way to wait because I'm still kind of young. I know I'm closer to 30, but still, you know. um, I do want to share an experience that triggered me to think about my past and when I was put down with my dolls and people being a certain way. This was October, which we're in November now, but this was literally last month. I went into my doctor's office and I brought little Jimmy. Um, Jimmy is the little red guy, one of my kids, and you know, and he's from Distortions, anyways, I'm sitting there with him. He's in the chair next to me because he sits, and I'm sitting down, and this woman comes in. And, she has, like, and again, I'm not against anybody that believes in God. I believe in God, but you could kind of get a vibe, like her shirt was, like, all about God. And, so she sits down in the same row as me, not next to me, but like a few down row in the waiting room. So then, um, a little girl walks in and she looks at the lady and says, "Mom, mommy, mommy." Okay, so it was her daughter. It was a little girl. And then another woman walks in, and I think she was like the grandmother or something, because she was a little older. She smiled at Jimmy, the older woman. She pointed Jimmy out to the child and said, "Look at that." And the little girl smiled at Jimmy. She had no problem with him. Well, the mother that's sitting on the row with me, which this makes no sense, and I'll tell you why in a second. She sits, she looks at the older lady and says, "Why would you tell her to look?" So my point is, if you're really that offended by not to put them as just dolls, because they're more to me than that, but we'll talk in society sense right now. We'll talk like society for a second. If you're so offended by a fucking doll, Why would you sit right in the same row as me, knowing your daughter's going to come in? If you really didn't want her to see the doll, you would have turned around and said, it was a big waiting room too, so she could have went somewhere else. Sat, where her back was facing towards me, and, the little girl could have stayed by her. You know what I mean? If you're really that offended. So you don't want her to see it, which, again, the kid wasn't upset, the kid wasn't afraid, but if you were that offended, you wouldn't have sat right near me. That's how I see it. And that's another thing I pointed out, being so sensitive. I feel like, because of all my trauma, like, I kind of, like, feel like I'm not, like, a valid person. Like, I'm not, like, because, people have, I once was told by a toxic family member, and he would say, like, you haven't done enough in your life to earn respect. Like, it made me feel like I was nothing. But I feel like we should all respect each other. Like, accommodate, or what's the word? Accommodate, or compromise, whatever it may be. Because I know what some of you are going to say. Well, you don't respect people with your dolls because you bring them places. Well, you go walk up to a Jehovah and tell them that they're wrong for all what they believe, and they'll shun you, and they're okay with it. You know what I mean? And I know somebody that's a Jehovah. So, I just feel like my opinion never mattered. And it's time to step up and say that it does. Everybody has an opinion. And then they even say, everybody's got an opinion, like everybody has assholes. Like, right? It's like, just like opinions. So my opinion does count. And I'm just putting it out there, like, and I'm slowly learning on my channel how to delete comments that don't pertain to anything that, I'm slowly learning how to just be like, all right, delete, move on. Sometimes I'll still complain about it, though, in my own little head and be like, why would they? But everything will be fine. I just want to learn how to stop being so sensitive. And if there's any advice out there from people that do support me, or, do like my channel, and if you don't like me and you say something, I could be like that Jehovah, block and delete. So, yeah, no, I just wanted to share how I felt. I just want to stop being so sensitive, like I said. But then again, I don't want to become a mean person at the same time. Because some people who have too much confidence, they're kind of mean. So I don't want to be that either. Where do I... It's just like... I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to draw the line, But I figured I'd just make a little video. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a nice evening, morning, day, or night, wherever you are. So see you later. Bye.